Hello and welcome back to Life as Mrs. C.
Hi, my name is Ruth
And I am Lydia.
and thank you so much for subscribing to the channel and being part of our team and supporting us in everything that you do. We've got an exciting episode today, so we're continuing on the series of my pregnancy journey, so Lydia's pregnancy journey. So in the other videos, we've asked Lydia and we've spoken about Lydia's experience in the first trimester. Now we want to know a bit more about the second and the third trimester. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, Lydia, and then you can answer them to the best of your knowledge or as much as you want to share with us.
As much as I can remember.
Yes, exactly. And I think it's you know, you've gone through a beautiful journey. It's had its ups, it's had its downs, and this is just an opportunity for her to share her story. And yeah, maybe someone out there needs to hear it. We don't know, but yeah, hope you enjoy it for whatever reason that it is. All right, so let's get cracking. So we finished our first trimester. So entering your second trimester, how are you feeling? Wait, is this something you're looking forward to based on the stories you heard, or how was your how are you?
I think the biggest thing I was looking forward to was feeling better, because most people say that in your second trimester, you know, you get like this energy, you know, like you sort of feel, not you, but you sort of feel better.
Yes.
You know, and I think in some areas I did feel better, and then some areas just
no.
You know, they say that you have this glow. Apparently there was this glow I had. Did I?
Yeah, you definitely were glowing.
Okay.
Definitely.
I didn't notice it. I thought I was just looking probably the same.
No, you definitely had a
glow. Yeah. Okay. If you say that, then we shall agree
your
that
skin
there was
was
a glow.
glowing.
Yeah.
It still is. Don't worry. We'll lie to you.
Thank you. So mean.
No, you're still glowing. I promise.
And then the throwing up, the nausea went away, but towards the end of the third trimester I think it came back, but I didn't have it as bad, you know. And what else I'm trying to then I had bad breath. Like just bad breath, you know, where the first time I thought my mouth used to feel funny, you know. They say you have this metallic test. I literally had the metallic test from the week I found out. So that is probably from the 4th week. Yeah. Until the time I gave birth. Wow. Like I had the metallic test. I tried everything. I was chewing gum. I was, you know, like every time I either had a sweet or I just had something. I had to be, you know, try to get rid of it. But then like mid second trimester towards the end, I just had this bad breath. I remember one time I was there, and then Choba was just like, babe.
Love, you just have to. I mean, what are you gonna do?
It was the expression he had. I knew it was bad, you know, for him because I think his tolerance levels when I was pregnant were really high. Like for him to actually tell me, it was like, wow. So he was like, babe, your mouth, it's like, you know, chicken poo.
Oh, no. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
I tried.
Could you smell it?
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as smelling it, I was like, yeah, you're right.
Oh, wow.
It was so bad. But then it sort of killed my confidence a little. Yeah. But you know, it's quite helpful, you know, we wear masks at work. So, you know, I'm just there suffering
by myself.
You know. You time your breaks. On your break, you just want to be alone in the room.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to be there when you're...
I remember one time I came to your place and I gave you a heads up. I was
yeah, you told me, but I never smelt it.
No, Ruth, I had it.
I'm just trying to think.
Did I
tell you? Did I ever tell you at the time that you could smell it?
You said, oh, no, it's okay, it's fine. But I told you, like, oh, Ruth,
yeah, I do remember you did say. Yeah, you told me.
Like, it is smelling.
No, you did, but you brought your toothbrush.
I was literally brushing my teeth. I kid you not, probably 10, 15 times a day.
Yeah, like that I remember. You're like, oh no, I need to brush my teeth.
Every time.
So I think maybe that's why I didn't
brush my teeth.
Yeah, like, and you're eating chewing gum.
They send it chewing, but I chewed so much gum to a point where it started giving me nausea as well.
Oh.
So I had to stop. I had to find, something else. But I think as days went by, it was just like, I think at the beginning, in your first trimester, you're dealing with so many things. And in your second trimester, you are like, okay, you know what? There's a baby growing.
Things are going to happen.
Things are going to happen. We just have to live with it. Yeah. So I think towards the end of my second trimester, I was like, it's okay.
I'll deal with it.
So I'll deal with it. But yeah, like the bad breath
was the one that got you.
Yeah, it just got me. And then in my second trimester, I think about 18, probably I had it from between 15 and 17 weeks. I was feeling this pain. Like every time I tried to get out of bed, it was like a whole chore. So I thought, this is a bit off. So I called the GP and explained, they were like, oh, probably you have pelvic ghetto pain. I was like, oh, what is that? They were like, oh, no, it's just some normal stuff that pregnancy people. It was my first time hearing it because I think it's one of those things that maybe most
quite
women.
Common in pregnancy.
It's common in pregnancy, but probably maybe people, or let me not say many people, let me say the people I know maybe have not experienced it, or maybe for some people they've experienced it but they don't know that it's pelvic ghetto pain.
Yes.
Because I think sometimes with pregnancy there's this thing of, oh yeah, it's normal.
Yeah.
It's normal. So when people keep saying it's normal,
you just like
you leave normal. It. You don't go to the doctors to have it checked. You're just like, yeah, it's normal. Someone says, oh, you're having nausea. Oh, it's normal, but nausea is normal up to a certain extent.
Yes.
When you are vomiting and then
not
it's affecting your eating and drinking, then it's a problem. You need to seek help. So it's that kind of thing, But for me, it was just like, it was affecting my standing and everything. I was like, nah. So anyway, the GP, I didn't even know how serious it is. Because the GP was like, do you want me to write you a note? I was like, oh no, it's okay. She was like, no. Let me write you a note. So she wrote me, for work. Okay. So when the manager saw it and, showed like the matron at work and my boss's boss, they were like, Lydia needs to stop working on the ward. I thought, that's serious.
Like, you're just like, I'll continue.
Like I didn't know how serious it is. So one of the managers was like, no. Like, Lydia, with that thing, you really need to take care of yourself. So they quickly, I think in a space of 2 weeks, like they just sorted me out. They adjusted my rota,
that's great.
Everything.
That's really good.
They said, Lydia, no more working like on the ward. So I just did like my last shift. Then the following week, they had redone my rota.
Wow, that's
given
really
me a
good.
New post and everything. So I started doing really like office work, like nothing.
That's really good. To be fair, I think seeing it from the other end, you'd suffered with it for a long time. Yeah. Because you used to be like, oh, and then even to me, I was like, oh, at the beginning, I'm like, yeah, well, you do get aches and pains, but you actually, because I think I remember you were like, I'm going to call the GP. I was like, yeah, I think you should. Or I think I was like, oh, you should. No, I think I was like, no, you should speak to your midwife or something like that. But and again, because most people, they usually say they get that a bit early, later on in pregnancy. Yours started quite early compared to the majority of people. But by the time you go into the GP, you were really in a lot of pain. And I think you're just one of those people who just pushes. That even though work were like, oh, you need to stop, I think they were rightly so, because you are generally just one of those people like, I'll just continue. But it was really affecting you. And I guess we'll talk more about it separately in another video, like, like what is pelvic girdle pain and what treatments did you try and things like that. We'll ask you a bit more about that in the video. But I do think like yours definitely started early and earlier than most people, and it was giving you quite a lot of problems. That it was good that work were able to do that risk assessment for you.
They did honestly, they were quite nice.
Oh, that's really good.
I think that those I could say were the highlights of my second and my second and the third trimester. And to be honest, like the way I looked on my face, I know you say I was glowing. Oh, that's not
no, it's just you really were glowing. I think we've got some picture. The video that we did. Well, we've got a few videos in your pregnancy. You should really look at them because you were worried about the darkening of your skin. You were so worried that my neck is going so black. And I'm just like, it was, but your skin did go dark, but it looked so nice and smooth. I mean, you still do. I was joking. Like you were looking so good. Like your skin was nice. I think you're just. I guess it's just that mentality, like, I'm going dark.
I was talking to one of my aunties, and she was like, oh my gosh, she did now feed that.
Could you translate that for someone who doesn't understand what you're saying?
She basically just said, Lydia, your neck is become black. Like, it's dark. So now you're now cautious. I became more cautious. Yeah. So I went in the mirror and I said,
oh yeah, no, it definitely did. It's weird actually. It's brightened up. It's back to normal.
It's back to normal. I'm back.
These hormones, huh?
I'm
back. Here I am. No, you definitely did become dark on your neck, and I guess the rest of your skin, but it looked really nice. Yeah. So you've told us a few things. So I just want to ask you a bit. I don't know if I think we might have spoken about it a bit in the first video, but. How did you deal with your nausea? Because you're saying that your nausea you still had it in the second and third trimester as well. Yeah.
Well, I tried a few remedies that people say, like try ginger. Honestly, I ate ginger. I ate ginger biscuits. Like no man's business.
Yeah, I think I might have said try ginger. I heard you could try ginger.
To a point where it's just like giving me nausea because the thing is, when somebody told me this could help, we just went all out. And then Chomba did help the situation because every time I told him this is what I want, the man would just stock up. I remember the other time, I was told vinegar crisps.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that
yeah.
Crisps. Okay. Yeah, so we bought them. He bought a full pack. I was eating. But I thought, this thing it's not working. So I just reached a point where I'm like, it's not really working. But gum helped. Okay. Funny enough. Gum helped me a bit more. Okay.
What about?
It was also the spitting. I think this spitting. Yes. So initially, with the saliva, I could, just swallow and everything. Then it became too much, and it had a funny taste. I think it was part of the smell in the mouth because also
what was happening in the mouth.
I was suffering. So the thing is, the more saliva I had, I couldn't swallow it. So then, and then if I swallowed it, it would give me nausea and eventually throw up. So I started chewing gum so that the saliva is sort of like mixed up, has a flavor. Then I can swallow it.
Too much information for some of that. But did you ever need to go to the doctors or take any prescribed medication for your nausea and vomiting?
Yes.
Did it help?
I just couldn't help. It worked up to a certain point. Then it was just like, wow, you've taken too many tablets. You need to throw up. So
as in like you yourself told yourself that you've taken too many tablets.
No. Like my body stopped responding to it. So I still threw up. But
got you.
It did help, to be honest.
Got you. Yeah. I think the good thing is that you were still able to eat and drink.
Yeah.
As much as it wasn't pleasant or it may have tasted but you were able to eat and drink.
Hospital, that eating and drinking.
You need to eat and drink.
It's like a priority,
No, you did really well. Okay. So your energy levels, did they get better? Because you said, did they get better? Because, that's something they say, you're less tired.
No, to be honest, I even think I was... No.
Nah, that's a lie. If she did try and say yes, I'll be like, you're lying. You are lying. Your energy levels, they only... Funny thing, your energy levels came like day 2 after you gave birth.
Oh yeah,
you were
that's
back.
True. I was back.
But no.
No, but Ruta, that kind of back was like I had no choice.
You had to be back.
I had to be back.
Yeah.
You're doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk about.
Yes, we'll talk about the birth story and the postpartum period. Oh yeah, that's postpartum period. So okay, so you've told us about that. What about something that I guess we experienced together because we would talk about it. But I don't know if that's something you've mentioned to a lot of people. But you usually have the first scan at how many weeks? Like here, how many weeks do you get your first scan?
So here, I don't know about other countries.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
we have our first scan at 12 weeks. The dating scan.
Yeah.
And that's where we found that, because I thought I was 12 weeks.
Yeah.
But then when we went, I was nearly 14 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was like,
yeah, closer.
Closer, 1 week. Because you're just like, oh, the days
my
are
baby's
crawling,
coming.
the days are crawling. But yeah, we found it was closer to 14 weeks, so that was good. And then you have, so basically for me, I had more scans than usual. Because so in the UK, the way they do it is when you tell the GP like, well, I'm pregnant and everything, they assign you a midwife.
Yes.
So this is the person that you're with, but depending on your pregnancy journey, you are either assigned to a midwife and a consultant. Yes. Or just a midwife. But my pregnancy journey, I had a consultant. So a consultant is like a specialist doctor, a gynecologist. Yeah. So the first scan was the dating scan. Then at 20 weeks.
You're doing well.
Yeah.
These are the people to ask in exams.
At 20 weeks, you now have what they call the developmental scan. So this is where they check the brain, like basically like, oh, does the baby have the legs? Does the baby have the hands, the head? They check the brain, the development of the brain, and all these things. But then they, like they are so grown, because the picture at 12 weeks, you can literally see them. You saw her, you could see her legs and everything. Yeah. But this time around, oh, she was so big. You're just like, what is that? I remember asking, is that the tummy? They're like, no, it's the head. But yeah, and then after 20 weeks, I started having a bit more scans because they detected that Amelia had a small head. But I think they were just being overcautious. It's like she was below the what do you call those things? The centile,
the lowest centile.
Yeah, lowest centile. So that was another journey. I was sent to another specialist hospital where I was going for scans to check the head and everything. But it wasn't a major thing because, like I have a small head. Fairly. I think I do have a small head.
You do actually have a small head.
Yeah, a small head. And I know in the family, like my dad also had, like a fairly, like, not massive, like normal. So they were just like, there are certain people that just have small heads. So now they had to check how her brain is developing, because they're like, if she has a small head, has it affected her brain? I got you. But everything in her brain was perfect. It wasn't. It was perfect. So I did like 2 scans of that. So like that's fine. But then I kept on having the checks, like a bit more frequent, just to see. I think we had like 4 developmental scans.
Yes, you did have quite a few scans.
Quite a few scans with that. But it was okay. I think sometimes it can be worrying.
Yes, I can definitely. Yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
When they tell you that, you're just thinking, what should have seen me and now Googling. When
I can literally. But to be fair, any one of us would do that. I'm not gonna lie. They tell you not to Google, you end up Googling.
Your baby has a small head. What is it?
And then you find your name and then you start Googling that. Like it is, it is scary.
My husband started telling me this scary stuff. It's like, when the baby has a small head. Yeah. Maybe it's something to do with their brain and everything. No, problem bias, but I think Amelia is quite a sharp kid.
Yeah, she definitely is.
You can tell that she's the brain is operating.
No, the small head did not become small anymore. As you will come to know. Well, she doesn't have a big head. I think that compensated your head and, Oh my days. I'm gonna be told. I already know. My husband knows. We can talk about this. Yeah. He has a big head, and I also know that I have a big head. So it is well. So I can talk about that side of the family's heads. Yeah. So yes. So she's really lucky that you've got the small head to kind of compensate. Yeah. So she doesn't have a big head, but poor girl. Look at you, your auntie just saying you don't have a big head in public. But no, I do agree with you. I think it's, although we're laughing and stuff, like it was it was worrying, because I do remember, like, the first time you heard about it, you were quite worried. But I think you were very, although you were worried, I feel like you did carry a lot of confidence. I don't know if it's the confidence where you, like you said, you already knew that because you naturally have a small head, maybe it's more genetic than it being like a medical problem. But I think, you were initially worried, but you were very confident, and you're like, no, God knows. Like, I think you were very confident, and you went to your scans, you're just like, no, there's, it is what it is. And you weren't, I think, after the first scan, I think you took each scan as it, well, unless you didn't say anything, but usually we do talk about these things, but you didn't speak much about it, in a sense that you were over excessively worried, aside from obviously the first time that you heard about it.
I think the thing with scans, they're exciting, but they also, you become anxious, because I remember, like, the first scan was so anxious, and the second scan, it's like they're exciting, but you're also excited, you're anxious, like, what are they going to say now? And then, oh gosh, these people, their facial expressions when they're doing that thing on your tummy, they're like, please tell me. She kept on, she presses, she's like, is wrong. Tell me.
It's so funny. It's really funny because
you've got the screen. So the way it is, it's like you've got the screen in front of you, and they've got their screen.
Yes.
So you are seeing that screen, and basically what you're seeing is just black and white.
Yeah.
You see something moving, you don't know if
it's the leg or
or the hands. Like I said, the 12-week scan was exciting because you could literally see her, like she was jumping, her legs in the air, their arms were moving. But this time around, we couldn't really see. It's just like, what is that that's moving? But then she was quiet for a bit. She's like, and she says, maybe let me see if I can ask my consult. I'm just like, I do what I hear.
I know. Well, to be fair, yes, that part can be scary. Sometimes you just not. I think it's really interesting you saying it from a patient point of view, because from a medical point of view, sometimes it's more that maybe because we have different levels of radiographers, so that we're all learning, and sometimes you just need to get a second opinion before you can write it all up. Doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong. And sometimes, yes, it might be because you've seen something and you're like, actually, something might be wrong. But it's funny when you talk about the facial expressions, because I remember at medical school, they used to talk about it a lot. Because we do these examinations, we do this, like, it's our bread and butter. We do it all the time. But so you might be examining someone, and there's this analogy of the doctor's mind, like the mind, they're like, oh, because you're used to it, we're thinking, oh, did I feed the cat today? Oh, I forgot to let the tongue, like, your facial expressions is not because of what you're examining, but it's because of what you're thinking about. But obviously they would like make sure that when you're examining a patient, you're not thinking about anything else, because what they will see when they're reading your face, when you go, oh, did I forget to, did I turn the heating on? Oh, like, they will see as you interpreting that onto them. So we're always trying to be in the present and kind of like looking at you. But it's really hard because the mind has, like, your facial expressions, even when you're thinking, you're like, oh, is that right? Like, there's just something your face decides it wants to do to show what it is thinking. But it just made me think of that when you said that, when you're looking at them.
Like the second one, because it was done by like a gynecologist, a gynecologist specialist. Obviously, gynecologist. So she was able, like, she was talking to me, and I think some of them do understand, like, you know what, this woman is anxious, so just keep talking.
Talking helps.
Okay. She was just like, it's not like very small for us to get worried,
but we just want to keep an eye on it.
Just keep an eye on it. So everything was okay.
Oh, that's good.
Was fine.
Oh, we thank God. No, that was good, because I remember the last scan that you had, and you're like, oh, I don't have to go I just have to have the normal, like, before birth scan, and then everything else is fine. So, lovely, doubly. What was I was gonna ask you something. When did you start? Did you get like? When did you start feeling her move? And did you get a sense of a pattern throughout, knowing that, okay, if she's not moved, like, when? Do you have a? Was she more awake at night, in the day, or there was no pattern? You just felt her move all the time?
The first time I had a kick was at 15, 16 weeks.
Yeah,
It was quite early.
That is actually quite early. Sounds right, but on the early side.
But the thing is, I could only feel it. But if someone like touched my belly,
oh no, they couldn't.
Yeah.
When could we feel? I remember I felt it. When was that?
I think that was about 18, 19.
And when did we see? Because there were times that was feeling it when you took my hand.
But when I got to 25,
like you could literally see the movement. It was so nice. It was so nice, and I could just touch like I'm not a doctor. Because you know when your doctor has to do what you need to do. But now it was like being like my sister. I can just touch and be like,
So it was at 16 weeks, and then. But then we noticed something funny. So when I got to 25 weeks, every Friday, like Amelia was excited.
Really?
Like I would have so many kicks on a Friday. We don't know what was about Friday.
Wow.
Like she was so active. We thought, that's strange.
Has she continued being active on a Friday?
She's
active every day.
Every day she's high on sugar.
That's nice. So that's kind of the journey that you've given us, and then towards the end, before the labor, like when you were now waiting, you had we had the baby shower, and then we had So how was like the last few weeks before labor?
Tiring. But like I just got so tired. I remember one time I was on the phone because I used to work as a ward clerk, and this family member called. Basically, she was just complaining about the dad was discharged and something wasn't given. Oh my days! And it was at 4 o'clock. I was exhausted. I started work at 7:30. I was there on the phone. I just said, "Mom, I am 8 months, 2 weeks pregnant." I'm like, I can't. I am so tired. Please, could you just talk to me nicely, because I really want to help, but don't shout me.
Oh, what did she do?
That is how bad it was.
Oh, what did she do?
No,
she calmed down.
She came down. She was like, "Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
it's so nice." Anyway, so this is, and she definitely did calm down, because I just thought,
I can't process.
I was like, I can't process. Like my brain. First of all, my brain has shrunk. I have so many things to remember. You know, I always used to sit like with a notepad. It's quite helpful when you're taking phone calls and all. But I just thought. Then I think one of the sisters here, she was just like, "DJ, you're tired.
Let me go home."
I think that day she was just like, "A child, you need to go home." I was so tired.
Oh wow!
And then I even forgot. Like I think at 24 weeks, I had the gestational diabetes test.
Oh yes,
and that was fine.
Yes, you did.
But then later on,
I think it was your last scan. I think it was your
last scan. No, you know what triggered it?
Yeah. Because
I think Amelia was going like on the chart, the growth chart. It was normal.
Yeah.
Then when I got, I think to 30, 31,
it was
32,
in the 30s.
It just shot.
Yes.
They were like, this child is growing too big.
Yes, I remember that.
So my midwife suggested I have the test. I have the test again.
Yes, I remember.
It wasn't clear. Because some of my tests were okay, I did blood sugars for a bit, but then they were like, "Oh, you've had a few red ones." So I started being treated as gestational diabetes.
Okay, so that's something that we can actually. I think we've talked quite a lot in this video, but that's quite something. I think we can talk about it in the next video.
We can talk about it in another
open
video.
to that.
Yeah.
Lovely.
We can talk about it in another video.
Yeah.
So towards the end, I think I was just tired, to be honest. But that was the highlight. It was so funny because now I look back, I'm like, yeah, poor woman. You know,
it worked,
like honestly, who tells someone on the phone, you don't even know, they're just like, I'm heavily pregnant. I can't deal with this. But yeah, I was that tired. Then I had to reduce my hours.
Oh yeah. When was your last day of work? Like how many weeks before you were due?
It was supposed to be 4 weeks before I could give birth, but then I got COVID. But honestly, that COVID...
My sister, you went through it. You just keep dropping shame, bombshells.
I had COVID.
Oh, yes, you did.
I think at 34 weeks, I was found with COVID. And it wrecked me. Like, that one did me bad. Because I couldn't take any medication. I remember calling the GP and I was whining on the phone. He was really nice. You know, he heard me out. Then at the end, he was just like, I am so sorry, but I don't think there's anything we can give you. Probably, just try sniffing some warm water.
Wow.
Just get a towel, put it in hot water and just sniff. I was like, honestly, doctor, just any medicine. You're like, no. My voice was gone. I was coughing. I couldn't sleep. Like, I think 2 days straight, I had no sleep. Wow. My pillows didn't work. Everything. It was, horrible. But you know what? Thinking about it now, it's like it was a blessing in disguise. Because that reduced the amount of time to go to work. Then by the time my COVID session finished, I only went to work for 2 days. And then my annual leave started.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
Yeah. So.
And that's how we started the journey to labor. Oh, I can't wait for that video.
Yeah, so that is that.
Lovely. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add in this section before I put a close?
Lord, I can even feel it
on your throat. Oh, you've done well. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. I know it can be difficult for many reasons, but thank you so much for sharing it. And we hope that you found it useful in whatever way, shape or form. Thank you for staying with us. I mean, there are obviously some sensitive parts, or someone who's watching this might find some of the things that we've said quite sensitive, so we will put a disclaimer in the description, but also Lydia and I tend to laugh out a lot of our emotions. It doesn't mean we're laughing at anything that we might have said. We're just laughing as a way of
it's a nice coping mechanism.
Yes, that's the way. Exactly. So we're not laughing exactly at anything that's been said in the video. So thank you so much.
All right, well, till next time. Bye-bye.
But my head is big.
You don't help the situation
with the hairstyle. But if I make it tight, I need